We start at the Vallelunga circuit near Rome, the venue for a special Formula One testing session. For the first time since Italy's Giovanna Amati back in 1992, a woman was to have a serious drive in a Formula One car. Amati failed to qualify for Brabham and was replaced by Briton Damon Hill, son of double World Formula One champion Graham Hill, who himself went on to become world champion with Williams. Another woman, American Sarah Fisher, also performed a brief demonstration run with McLaren at Indianapolis back in 2002. But now, British driver Katherine Legge from Guildford in Surrey was one of several drivers taking part in the final test week for Minardi, following Red Bull's buyout of the team. Legge's test had been arranged with team owner Paul Stoddart several months ago, ahead of the deal. She's always wanted to have a Formula One drive, and so this session was literally a dream come true.
It's just awesome. It's a fantastic opportunity for me, and it's been something I've working towards since I was 9 years old, so I'm enormously grateful to Paul Stoddart and Minardi and Ozjet for giving me the opportunity. You know, it's a chance of a lifetime.
Giancarlo Minardi, founder of the Italian-based team, was more sceptical about women racing in Formula One because of the physical strength needed.
First, we'll have to see how she does on her test. I have to say she has done well so far, but obviously Formula One is completely different to what she has done before. Physically, it will be a radical change, particularly to what a woman is used to.
It was also Minardi's last outing before the name finally vanishes from Formula One after 21 years, largely spent struggling among the backmarkers. Red Bull have renamed the team Scuderia Toro Rosso. Legge looked calm and confident beforehand, chatting with mechanics and engineers, waiting quietly for her test shift to come, before being introduced to the complex control systems in the cockpit. The 25-year-old former karter has been racing in single-seater cars since 2000 and won 3 races in the US Toyota Atlantic Series this year, coming third overall. Then suddenly it was her turn. Quickly donning her pink and violet helmet, she jumped into the 770 horsepower car and was off. Spaniard Roldan Rodriguez, Uruguayan Juan Caceres and 2 young Italians, Luca Filippi and Davide Rigon, also took part in the test sessions, as well as the regular Minardi tester, Chanak Nissany. Australian aviation entrepreneur Paul Stoddart also attended Legge's debut, his final task after selling Minardi to Red Bull. Stoddart himself would drive the very last lap ever run by a Minardi. All looked good on Katherine's opening laps, but things changed for the worse on her second. Katherine, who had never driven in a car with traction control before, went off the track on a bend and smashed into a concrete wall. She came through the crash and the medical checks unscathed, and afterwards appeared slightly disappointed but confident in talking to journalists.
Really, it wasn't an accident. It was just a case of the traction control kicking in, and obviously I've never driven a car with traction control on, so I came out of the power and it overrode the traction control. So like I said, it was just like turning the traction control switch off, and that was that really.
As technicians inspected the tyres from her car, and despite the setback, Katherine is sure that she will realise her goals, her gender not being an issue.
Yes, I think there's no reason why we should not be equal. You know, as long as you're fit and you think almost like a man thinks, there's no reason why I couldn't do it. You know, I think I have the talent. I think I just have to prove that it's capable.
A Minardi spokesman later described it as a little excursion into the scenery, blaming cold conditions and perhaps a little bit of overenthusiasm. Failing light meant she would get a second chance the following day.
I believe that Formula One is a very difficult and strong job for a woman. Thus, it's difficult to make a similar step forward because one needs incredible physical characteristics to drive a Formula One car for a whole race today.
The next day, she completed 27 laps, starting on intermediate tyres in cold and damp conditions before the team switched her onto dry tyres as the temperature rose and the track conditions improved.